2025 WWE Men's Royal Rumble winner Jey Uso hits back at criticism of a botched dive from this week's edition of WWE Monday Night Raw. There is reportedly more than meets the eye to The Rock not being mentioned by John Cena or Cody Rhodes during this week's edition of Raw. Saraya says she could be retiring soon. Chris Bay opens the lid on if he will be ever able to wrestle again after suffering a serious neck injury. Could Sting, contracted to AEW, appear at the WWE Hall of Fame to induct Lex Luger? We'll let you know the details on that. Free agent Hammerstone teases an alliance with MJF and AEW on social media. Kazuchika Okada reaches 1 year as AEW Continental Champion. And a match involving the Rascals is added to tonight's edition of TNA Impact. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso, who has responded to his doubters. Now, on the March 17th edition of Monday Night Raw from Brussels, Belgium, Jey Uso went for an over-the-top rope dive in an attempt to take out both Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Uso would end up clipping his knee on the top rope, messing up the move in the process. Since then, fans have been poking fun at Uso, with some even comparing that moment to Top Dollar's infamous botch dive from 2022 on SmackDown. On Wednesday, March 19th, Uso took to social media to respond, even poking fun at himself and messing up the move. Furthermore, Uso was confident that he'll be able to hit the move next week. Here is Uso's post on social media. Now, Uso is set to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 41. He won that opportunity by winning the Men's Royal Rumble match back at the beginning of February, last eliminating John Cena. Speaking of Cena, still people are talking about his heel turn and his promo explaining his heel turn on Raw this past Monday, a segment that also involved his opponent for WrestleMania 41, Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE Champion. But some people questioned just why wasn't The Rock referenced, considering he was a big part of wanting Cody Rhodes' soul heading into Elimination Chamber, and seemingly he took John Cena's soul during the heel turn in question at Elimination Chamber and participated in the beatdown alongside Travis Scott of Rhodes during the closing moments of the PLE. Now, there is reportedly more than meets the eye to The Rock not being mentioned by Cody Rhodes or John Cena on the March 17th edition of Monday Night Raw. What exactly that means is unknown, but WWE will deny whatever the real reason is, according to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio. Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez had the following exchange on Wrestling Observer Radio. Meltzer said, quote, "You know who they didn't mention? Hardly at all. I don't even think they mentioned him at all. Dwayne. There's more than meets the eye, apparently. I'm not sure he's dropped, but something is going on." Alvarez responded by saying, "What does that mean?" Meltzer said, quote, "It means there's something going on." Alvarez said, "Well, we shouldn't have brought this up if you can't tell us any more, because now you've just made people angry." Meltzer said, "I don't know more that's going on. I was actually just told it's what you think. I think they thought that I knew, which I didn't, and they said that even if you say it, everyone in the company will deny it. So it's something, but I don't know exactly what. There's always stuff going on behind the scenes there, that's all," end quote. Now, The Rock inserted himself into the WWE main event picture in February by announcing that he wanted to own Cody Rhodes' soul. This ultimately led to John Cena turning heel at Elimination Chamber on March 1st after Cody rejected Dwayne Johnson's offer. Cena made his first appearance since turning heel on Monday's Raw, during which he broke up with the fans who had treated him horribly for 20 plus years. Cody Rhodes then interrupted Cena and told the 16-time world champion to find himself before WrestleMania 41 because Rhodes didn't want to wrestle a whiny bitch at WWE's biggest show of the year. A big update here when it comes to the wrestling future of former AEW Women's World Champion Saraya. Saraya has been out of action for months and recently confirmed that her contract with AEW is coming up in September of 2025. In the latest update on her future, she said to Sports Illustrated that her time in wrestling won't last forever. She said, quote, "I'm just letting people beat me left, right and center. I was on a losing streak, but I just wanted people to get their rub. I want to uplift everybody. I'm not going to be in wrestling forever. I'm coming to the end of it, and it's very soon, and I don't don't want to be going out like I need to be on top. In a previous interview with TMZ, Saraya didn't commit to re-signing with AEW at the point and gave a maybe one day type of answer when asked about the prospect of a WWE return. Her brother Zack Knight's contract with AEW also recently came to an end and he exited the promotion. Saraya's last match came in October 2024, which was a full-weight #1 contenders match that also included Nyla Rose, Jamie Hayter, and the winner, Willow Nightingale. Now, a really positive update when it comes to TNA wrestling star Chris Bay. Chris Bay suffered a neck injury in October of last year that left him paralyzed and led to immediate surgery. Bay was in a wheelchair for months, but managed to begin walking again in February. A potential in-ring return is not in the immediate future, but Bay doesn't rule it out entirely. Here's what he had to say in the newest interview with Chris Van Vliet.
Do you think you'll ever wrestle again?
Never say never, right? The day after, day one, the day after the surgery, I was very content and understanding that my career was over. I didn't see a world where I came back to wrestling. I was laying there, couldn't move anything from the neck down. It felt like I had passed away because there's all this love for me online. You know, they say like you get your flowers when you're gone.
Yeah.
There's all this love for me online that everyone's telling me about and everyone's calling me. And I'm having people reach out to me who I've never in my wildest dreams imagined reach out to me. They're making video packages about me. It was like I was spectating my life, and my life is now over. And wrestling is my life. It was my life. It is my life. It still consumes me. In that moment, I was like, okay, wrestling's over. I want to one day have a family. I want to be able to one day stand and run and play with my kids one day. Family was something I never thought about in my early 20s, but in my later 20s, now I'm being 29, it's very important to me. It's something that I want so badly. Not now, but one day. And the thought of never being able to achieve that broke me. That broke me, and that drove me more than anything because I had a great 8 years in wrestling. 8 years, that was it. But I did so much in 8 years that I lived my wildest dreams. I feel like I made an impact on the world. I was able to help train and coach and motivate people who are in the game today. It's a dream career. If it had to end, if it's over now, cool. I want to walk. I want to stand. I want to be able to function. And then, maybe a couple weeks ago, now that I'm walking again and I'm back in the gym, I told my girl, I was like, what if I do wrestle again one day? I'm still young. What if I took 5 years off? If I took 4 years off and came back in my mid-30s? It's possible. It's been done before. Nothing's impossible. And that's where the greatest story ever told is born.
And best wishes continue to go out to Chris Bay in his recovery. Now, an update here when it comes to Lex Luger and his WWE Hall of Fame induction, and if it will include AEW contracted talent Sting. Sting may have not made his last WWE appearance. Lex Luger is headed into the WWE Hall of Fame this year, and the natural selection to induct him is his longtime tag team partner, rival and friend Sting. Despite having retired over a year ago, Sting has remained part of All Elite Wrestling and has a new Legends-esque deal since retiring. Now, Fightful Select say they're not sure if that would require AEW signing off on Sting possibly inducting Luger, but Fightful have been told that WWE was planning to make overtures if they hadn't already about making that happen. Luger and those close to him did inform WWE that Sting was his preferred choice. Now, it's worth noting that Sting has told people he probably wouldn't be able to do it because of his AEW deal. Over the last couple of weeks, Fightful have heard Sting's original plans called for him to only be in Vegas during WrestleMania week for a limited schedule, and it's now expanded, so take that for what you will. An interesting update here when it comes to a possible faction for MJF. A free agent has teased potentially joining up with MJF in a new faction following his promo on last night's Dynamite. Last week on AEW Dynamite, MJF cut a promo in the ring when he was interrupted by MVP, with MVP dealing his history of MJF prior to him joining AEW. To close the segment, MVP said that he could help MJF regain the AEW World Championship before handing him a Hurt Syndicate business card to end the segment. On last night's Dynamite, MJF followed up on this segment where he ran down all the potential next challenges for the AEW World Championship before saying that he may need a clique of his own if he's going to get back to the top. Many took MJF's comments as a potential hint that he may be set to form his own faction rather than joining up with the Hurt Syndicate, and one former ally of MJF's has teased potentially joining up with him. Responding to the segment, former TNA and MLW star Alex Hammerstone, who recently became a free agent, simply responded by saying, Hammerstone was previously a stablemate of MJF's during their time in MLW, where they were part of the Dynasty alongside Richard Holiday. Of course, we get any more details on possibly Hammerstone making his way to AEW, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, has been the AEW Continental Champion for over a year. Kazuchika Okada has become the first AEW Continental Champion to hold the title for over a year. Okada defeated Eddie Kingston for the championship on the March 20th episode in 2024 of AEW Dynamite. Since then, he has defended the gold against Brody King, Buddy Matthews, Bryan Danielson, and more. Now he is celebrating hitting the 1 year mark as champion. In total, Okada has defended the championship 11 times in the last year, including successfully retaining the gold in the Continental Classic tournament. For the former champion, Eddie Kingston, he's currently battling back from an injury. Of course, there have been rumors recently that the Continental Championship could be set to be merged with the AEW International Championship, with some speculating we could see Okada versus Omega at All in Texas later on this year. And finally, an update on a match added to tonight's episode of TNA Impact. TNA Wrestling has announced that the Rascals, that being Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, will be taking on the Northern Armory on the next episode of TNA Impact. Of course, the Rascals are coming off a strong victory over WWE NXT's Wesley, Tyson DuPont, and Tariq, alongside Ace Austin at the TNA Sacrifice event last week. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, be sure to check out the sidebar for all the upcoming watch-alongs and post-shows. They include a lot of the Raws and SmackDowns on the road to WrestleMania coming from Europe. Will be live for the majority of them and for post-shows. In addition to that, upcoming pay-per-view such as AEW Dynasty, will be doing a watch-along and a post-show for that. And of course, for WrestleMania, both nights and one and two, as we get closer to the biggest event on the WWE calendar. Will be live Friday for the SmackDown watch-along, tomorrow from Bologna, Italy, and a post-show as well. So be sure to join us then too. You can also join the WN365 roster by clicking the join button. The link's in the video description below. You get your badges, your emojis, and exclusive members-only content. Plenty more being added soon. Appreciate everyone that's tuned in, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.